Bow, bow, bow. This is a big one, and it's one for my personal history book that I'm sharing with all you. Yeah. So this is a seals of coherence, invocation, and revocation that I, Sean Robert Bibby, in this ever-present co-creative moment of the now, I choose to bring all layers of my chakra system into harmonic coherence so I can utilize my energy, bringing them into sacred proportion, equalize spin, balance petals and vortexes, balance luminosity, and synchronized communication through the vertical power current of my being. I choose now to harmonize all oversized layers, all collapsed layers, all constricted vortexes, all fragmented geometries, and all incoherent frequency. All incoherent frequency expressions across every level of my human energy consciousness system. I call forth the sacred geometry of my chakras on all layers of existence. The root with its 4 vortexes, the sacral with its 6 vortexes, my solar plexus with its 10 vortexes, my heart with 12 vortexes, my throat with its 16 vortexes, and my third eye with its 96 radiations of divided perception. My crown with its 1,000-petaled vortex, infinite emanation. I now ask that every petal, every spiral, every rotational current, every front and back vortex, every dimensional layer, and every frequency band enter sacred harmonic ratio with one another in a beneficial, positive co-creation with all sentient beings. Where one layer has become swollen with emotional charge, let it soften into coherence. Where another layer has become constricted from fear, trauma, suppression, or fragmentation, let it gently expand into a healthy bandwidth. Where one chakra layer spins too quickly and another chakra layer spins too slowly, I call forth the harmonic synchronization now with my consciousness energy. I allow the vortices of each chakra on each level to metabolize the correct frequency of energy consciousness in sacred proportional balance. I ask that every layer of my chakras become equalized like nested spheres of coherent light, harmonized like standing waves in phase alignment, neither overcharged nor collapsed, but fully active, vibrant, regulated, grounded, and capable of transmitting and receiving the correct frequency and power levels through my seals of perception within my spine. I now bring awareness into the vertical power current deep within my spinal axis. I see my vertical power current as a luminous braided column of light existing within and around my central canal of my spinal cord, extending from the base of my body to the crown of my being. I bring awareness to the sacred petals within my vertical power current, the gateways that regulate the frequencies and power of energy consciousness entering my system, and I acknowledge now. Seals look a little bit like lenses. However, they act more like electronic gates, and that only a particular frequency range and power level can go through. With my sacred intent, I ask that every seal within my spinal axis now becomes clear, coherent, harmonized, protected, and properly calibrated for the safe transmission of energy consciousness through my being. I ask that all seals regulate with wisdom and intelligence, where they neither suppress nor flood my system, but allow proper frequency thresholds to move safely through my central channel, reducing noise. I allow the central canal of my spinal cord to be a sacred river of coherent light. I see my cerebral spinal fluid becoming luminous with ordered intelligence as I allow my nervous system to become phase-locked with the coherent rhythms of my heart, my breath, my fascia, my marrow, my brain, and my soul light frequencies with all pulses of life. I allow all sympathetic overdrive, fragmented survival signaling, incoherent looping patterns, hypervigilance, and energetic scattering to soften now into organized coherence. I bring awareness to the billions of branches of my nervous system, like roots of trees growing off in every direction and branches extending into the heavens. I illuminate every neuron, synapse, ganglia, fascia line, every nerve plexus, fluid channel, and energetic pathway with golden, coherent light. I see my vertical power current communicate harmoniously with my spinal cord, with my spinal cord with my nervous system, and my nervous system with my endocrine system, and my endocrine system with my blood, and my blood with my marrow, and my marrow with the very light within my DNA. I now choose to perceive through higher sense perception and sacred balanced with my physical senses. I understand the difference between reflected light and emitted light, like biophotons. I understand that the physical eyes see reflected light, while my higher sensory perception perceives my self-generated light and the self-generated light of others of the human energy field. I choose now to safely perceive the energetic organization beneath physical manifestation. I allow myself to sense coherent emitted light through my higher chakras, the subtle bodies, and the layers of my human energy consciousness system without any fear, distortion, projection, or any fragmentation. I will not be fractionalized. I no longer require dense distortion to process information. I no longer require suffering to understand energy. I allow blocked physical energies, trapped emotional charges, stagnant thought forms, and incoherent energy debris to gently release from the dense physical layers of my being and to be reprocessed through higher coherent organization with the energetic layers of my field. I allow all physical bottlenecking to soften. I allow energetic information to rise upward into more coherent processing through my higher sensory perception, through my heart, through my vertical power current, through the seals, and through the emitted light of my field. I now call forth all reflected light frequencies, residual images, emotional imprints, sympathetic entanglements, projected thought forms, nervous system echoes, and dense energetic recordings that I have absorbed through physical sensory interaction. Any interaction with family, relationships, my patients, clients, co-workers, organizations, businesses, corporations, institutions, technologies, media streams, collected consciousness fields, and all forms of human interaction through this entire lifetime, as well as my ancient past and my ancient future. I acknowledge that much of this information entered through reflected light processing within the dense physical senses and became stored within my tissues, my fascia, my blood, my marrow, my organs, cranial structures, dream spaces, autonomic reflexes, emotional patterning, and unconscious energetic holding, all deposited as chemical memories. I choose now to release all incoherent accumulation from the dense physical layers of my body and return these frequencies into the higher energetic processing organs of my human energy consciousness system for conscious reorganization, for filtration, metabolization, refinement, harmonic reintegration, and sacral neural understanding with full awareness. I allow all non-beneficial reflected light residue to gently disengage from my muscles, fluids, and organs, out of my vagal pathways, spinal tissues, endocrine glands, my fascial network, and sympathetic survival patterning, and parasympathetic overdrive. I allow these experiences to rise upward through the layered chakra system within me into coherent energetic processing with higher sense perception. These are my subtle energy fields, where the emitted light of my being may observe, organize, recycle, transmute, and properly archive all my lessons, all my memories, all my emotions, and informational frequencies without retaining unnecessary density within my physical body. I choose now to retain the wisdom while releasing the incoherence. I allow my energetic organs, chakra petals, the vortexes, seals of perception, my vertical power current, up and down, my central canal of my spinal cord, and my nervous system to consciously reorganize all and every energetic exchange in every dimension and timeline into sacred proportional harmony, so that my body no longer acts as unconscious storage for unresolved, reflected light frequencies from the world around me. Yeah, we're doing that. So I allow my bioplasma to flow coherently through all layers of my being. I allow the luminous currents of life force, consciousness, with my breath and electromagnetic coherence to circulate through every chakra layer and every arc level in sacred neutral balance, starting with the 7 generations and the 7 fields. I allow all incoherent, static, fragmentation, and chaotic waveform interference to dissolve into harmonic order with my higher energy sense organs. I ask that all incoming energy consciousness to be properly filtered, metabolized, distributed, and embodied right now, according to my highest beneficial harmonic ratios for my nervous system and my soul evolution. My body is continuously listening to my field. I allow the field to become coherent, so my body may entrain into greater order. I allow my chakras to synchronize vertically. I allow my spinal seals to regulate very wisely. I allow my spinal axis to conduct, feeling safe and entrained, while my nervous system embodies these words gracefully. I allow my emitted light to organize my reflected reality. I call forth the sacred alignment between my fetus in my mother's womb and my original heart pulse. I call sacred alignment from my first dividing cells, the central canal of my spinal cord and my spinal column, and my vertical power current, and my mighty I am now presence. I reconnect the ancient knowingness of my first heartbeat with the coherent emitted light of my present consciousness. I am a light emitter. I understand my own light signals. I allow the original organizing intelligence of life to gently restore proportion, bandwidth, coherence, and harmonic communication throughout every level of my being. I now embody the super technology of communion and union. I choose coherent organization over any fragmentation. I choose harmonic resonance over chaotic amplification that sends me into vicious loops. I choose sacred proportional balance over overcharge and collapse. I choose to become a coherent vertical being of emitting light, properly grounded in my body, properly connected to my nervous system, and properly aligned to the environment through my seals of perception, and capable, very capable, of metabolizing greater amplitudes of creative energy safely, clearly, wisely, and lovingly. The time is now, and the power is coherence. My spine is part a river, and my heart a 0-point field. My seals are harmonized, my chakras synchronized on all layers, every aspect of them. This emitted light and all light is remembered easily, and my I am presence now chooses embodiment in sacred balance across all layers existence. 2. Do no harm to any sentient kind. And so it is. So it is.